If you're considering moving to the Augusta, Georgia area, you're definitely going to want to see this video because I'll be sharing my personal experience and my story, the good, the bad, the ugly, the pros, and the cons of when we moved from Illinois to Georgia right after this. Hi, I'm Delresa Rollerson, and thank you so much for coming to the channel. On this channel, you find information in regards to real estate tips, strategies from a global perspective, but specifically today, I'll be sharing my personal experience of moving from Illinois to the Augusta, Georgia area. So moving from Illinois, coming to Augusta was really a culture shock. It wasn't a bad culture shock because I was born and raised in the suburbs of Illinois. So I moved to the Augusta, Georgia area back in 2015, my husband and the children and I. And the first thing that was really dramatically different for me was the weather. So the weather was really good for me because in Illinois, of course, you know, it's snow. It gets extremely cold there. But in the Augusta, Georgia area, we actually happened to move here in January of 2016, and the weather was really good. It was 40 degrees. So the people that were born and raised here were complaining about the weather being extremely cold. They had on their boots, they had on their scarves, and they were really cold. But as far as me and my family, we were not cold because, of course, we are used to coming from 20 below. We would be 15 below, 10 below sometimes in the Midwest in the winter. So that was a big change in a positive way. However, if you do not like the heat, in the summertime, it gets very hot here. I enjoy the heat, so it's welcoming to me. But between the months of July, specifically August, so July and August is our hottest time of the year. It's really, really hot here. So, and it's very humid and it's very muggy and it's all day long. So like now in the winter time, it's December, and our temperature has been ranging in the 70s and now going down to the 60s and soon probably in the 50s. So that's cold for the area here. As far as the Augusta, Georgia area is concerned. So I've had people ask me how receptive are the locals and the true Augustans to people who move here, who are transplants like myself. I will tell you personally, they have been very receptive. The people that were born and raised here in the area have been very receptive and are very receptive to people that are moving to the area because so many people move here on a regular, consistent basis. It's just normal for the area. As a matter of fact, in 2016, I was asked to be the chair of the Columbia County Chamber of Commerce Ambassador Committee. So I was the very first African American to chair that committee, and actually the only so far to chair that committee. So I chaired that committee. It was a great opportunity. It was actually a year term that I held during that, and we basically introduced businesses to the community, went out, and I had a team of volunteers with about 30 people or so, and we basically would go out, introduce ourselves to the new businesses, tell them about the community, tell them about the county, and welcome them to the community. So there is opportunity here for you. And if you have an optimistic attitude, that's what you'll experience. If you have a negative attitude, that is what you'll experience as well. So, and that's a given wherever you go. As far as the schools are concerned, a lot of people do embrace Columbia County for schools for their children. Also, Richmond County has some nice magnet schools. I'll put that information in the links below. I'll put information on the schools for Richmond County so you can review everything yourself, Columbia County, and also for the magnet schools here. So in Illinois, we had to pay book fees. I mean, they had fee after fee after fee, in addition to high taxes. So here in Georgia, the taxes are lower. So our property taxes are lower, which pays for the schools. And we don't pay any fees whatsoever for the schools. Of course, the parent teachers organization, you know, for PTO, you can contribute to that if you would like, but you're not required to pay anything for your children to go to school. Another dynamic that's different is homeowner association fees. So HOA fees. So homeowner association fees in Illinois was extremely high compared to what they are here. So our HOA fees range between $50 up to about $400 a year, not a month, a year. And that includes, for instance, if you have a community that has a swimming pool, a clubhouse, tennis court, possibly also sidewalks, because not every community here has sidewalks. Street lights, not every community here has street lights. So if you have a community that has that, you will pay HOA fees, which is homeowner association fees. So you may pay maybe $200-$300, maybe between $1, $2, $3, up to $400 a year for those type of amenities for your neighborhood. So that's a really good thing, because I know throughout the country, homeowner association fees are normally a lot more than what we pay here in the Augusta, Georgia area. Another adjustment that I had to make living here was getting accustomed to seeing these big bugs in Georgia. We have the biggest bugs in Augusta, Georgia, and I really think it's because the weather is nice all year round. So as I've said before in one of our other videos, the bugs do not have an opportunity to really die off. Like in Illinois, it's so cold, so in the winter, the bugs die off. But in the state of Georgia, the bugs, they just get larger. They get larger. So you have palmetto bugs, which are basically roaches. You've got the flying roaches, but it's not like it's not a huge problem, but you do see those outside. It's normal for everyone to have their homes exterminated on a regular basis here. Doesn't mean that you're nasty. It just means that you live in Georgia. Because if you live in Georgia, you have a tendency of getting bugs. Once you move here, just having your budget to have the exterminating service, and you'll be fine with that as far as that's concerned. It's not like you're walking outside and roaches are flying around, bugs are flying around. It's not that bad. So, but I will tell you, if you live in an area that has a lot of trees, that is where the palmetto bugs reside. They live in the trees. They love wood. So if you live in the woods, or if you live in an area or maybe a house that's surrounded by trees, then you will have a tendency to have more bugs on your property than you otherwise would if you didn't have so many trees on the property. So that's one thing to think about as you're looking for homes here in the Augusta, Georgia area. And then also pollen. So in the springtime, there is a lot of pollen in our area. So if you have respiratory issues, if you have asthma problems, if you have sinus issues, then there's heavy pollen here in the month of April. So that's one of the other things about living here. The people here are overall very friendly. So wherever you go, generally they're going to strike up a conversation with you. They're going to say, hey. So the word is not hi. The word is not hello. The word is hey. So just basically say hey, and conversations. You can be in the line in the store, and it's not uncommon to have a conversation with a stranger, because that's just Southern hospitality is definitely what you will experience here in the Augusta, Georgia area. Augusta sits in Richmond County, which is the second largest metro area in Georgia. And then the suburbs really is like Evans, Martinez. You do have Hephzibah outside of the area. We've got Harlem, Georgia, Thompson. All of that is clustered in the Central Savannah River area, which is called the CSRA. Another thing a lot of people have asked me about is the racial climate here. And I am going to be totally honest with you. I experienced more racial issues in Illinois than I have experienced here. I've been here for 6.5 years, and I have not one time experienced a racial situation. The one time I thought it was a racial situation, it turned out that it really wasn't, because these people were acting this way to everyone. So that's one of the things that I've been asked a lot, is the racial climate here. So my family and I, thankfully we haven't had any issues with the racial climate. And we've been here when the political arena was kind of different. We were here during the change of our presidents, so the racial climate could have been very negative, but it was not. One of the things in comparison to Augusta versus Illinois, in Illinois it's so segregated. So you have areas where you've got certain ethnic groups live in certain areas. But that is not the case here in the Augusta, Georgia area. Everyone lives together, and you're really separated by your economic status. So the lower class, upper class, middle class, you really determines where you're going to live and who your neighbors are. So your neighbors are diverse. So you experience diversity in whatever economic status that you are in. Another thing that I've experienced that I welcome and I embrace and I love about living in Augusta is everything is so convenient. Here in our Augusta, Georgia area, everything, at least for me personally, everything is about 20. My maximum location where I attend church is 30 minutes away. Everything else is like 15 minutes, 20 minutes away, maybe 25 minutes away. So that includes the cleaners, that includes the stores, that includes the malls, that includes the hospitals. So 20 to 25 minutes is the average travel distance for me to just basically do things in life. It saves on a lot of commute time just to get around and about the city to do things. Another culture shock that I experienced moving here to the Augusta, Georgia area is low inventory for housing. So when we originally moved here, we came in on a Friday. We came looking for houses. There were 8 houses that we were looking for. By the time we got here, so we left on Friday, by the time we got here on Saturday, all 8 houses were gone. So that was my introduction to the Augusta, Georgia area, and it has not changed. It actually has gotten worse because houses stay on the market for such a short period of time here. We have more people than we have houses, and we have more people even coming. Since Amazon is now here, it's estimated that we're going to have between 20 to 30,000 people relocate here to the Augusta, Georgia area within the next 2 to 5 years. So subdivisions are being built as I speak. We have a lot of land here, but subdivisions are being erected all of the time. The infrastructure is being improved because they are expanding roads here to accommodate the growth that we're experiencing. So that's one of the things that you will experience in moving to our area is growth. You'll see the infrastructure changing. You'll see different areas that are changing, becoming more developed, and different businesses moving here, particularly now that Amazon is here. Last and not least is festivals. We have a lot of festivals that come into town. We have the Masters Golf Tournament that's always here every April. It comes into town and it basically brings people from all over the world. It's a nice event. Gets crowded during that time of year. A lot of the people that live here will rent their houses out just basically during that time to make extra money and also to go away on vacation during that time because there are so many people in town. So just to take advantage of the opportunity to make additional income with your housing. And then some people will work the Masters tournament to make extra income for that given week. And then in addition to that, we have Arts in the Heart, which is a music and arts festival. So you have artists from all over the world. We have international food from all over the world, different cultures coming together, sharing their food, sharing their art, their music, and it's really, really a nice week. And we also have, of course, our county fair that comes in town every year. Now, this time of year, which is the winter, we just had Lights of the South, which is a light event. You just basically drive through thousands and thousands of lights that are made into different sculptures of different things, of different characters, of different things. It's really a nice event. And just last week, we just had the Christmas parade. So we've got parades, we've got festivals, got different events that it goes on throughout the entire year. Just basically family friendly events, events to hang out, eat food, buy food, and just see different cultures and experience the South in a totally different way. So it's really, really a nice experience in experiencing that here in Augusta, Georgia. So if you're considering moving to the Augusta, Georgia area, be prepared for, of course, the housing situation to be what it is. Be prepared for growth here in our area. Be prepared for family-friendly atmosphere. Be prepared for people who are very friendly and very welcoming, and you get the Southern hospitality. And I'm not going to make it seem like it's a box of roses because, of course, there's negativity anywhere you go. But if you look for negativity, you find it. Look for positivity, that's what you find. And that's what I've had an opportunity to find. So again, that's basically in a nutshell what I've experienced moving here to the Augusta, Georgia area. It's been a very good experience for my family, my husband, my children, even the dog. My dog loves it here. He doesn't, because he doesn't like the cold either. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, or you can schedule a Zoom with me and I'll be more than happy to assist you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.